Hello, welcome to another edition of Inside Bolo at Tottenham. Well, it's another weekend, and that means one thing. Lots of exciting football matches across the top leagues in Europe, but we'll be focused on quite a few of them. In Spain, Real Madrid and Barcelona had contrasting results, with Barcelona losing after extra time to Athletic Club in the Copa del Rey, while Real Madrid struggled to defeat Elche after extra time as well. But for Barcelona, worrying time for Xavi. It feels like everything is not working for them, and they need to find the results very soon before the fans start turning out against their club legend. And for Real Madrid, well, you can say whatever you want. They found a way to grind out results. Now they'll be facing the same Elche this weekend. Let's see what happens. But this time to be at the Bernabeu, if they'll find a way to win that game. And Barcelona will be going away to play Deportivo Alaves. Let's see if they'll pick up a win in that game. But the biggest in Spain is Valencia away to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, it's been worrying time for them. Just 2 wins in 11 and 9 games in La Liga for them. Worrying times, and although you expect them to bounce back, this time it will be at the Vanda Metropolitano Stadium. But again, I worry for Diego Simeone's men. They've been very inconsistent. They were points ahead of Barcelona, but now they're just a margin between them. But I think they should do enough to edge Los Che here, because if they don't win, they may even lose their top 4 spot this weekend. But moving to Italy, there's Lazio versus Atalanta. Ordinarily, you will predict lots of goals in this game. But last weekend, Inter and Atalanta played goalless. So in football, anything can happen. But the biggest game in Italy is obviously AC Milan versus Juventus at San Siro. Two of the biggest teams in Italy. Both teams have been very inconsistent. Yo-yo, dilly-dally, up and down and all. AC Milan were on the run of 4 games winning streak until they lost at home to L2 Spezia. Surprise result there. For Juventus, win 2-3 games, draw 1, win, lose. So they've been inconsistent. This game, I won't be surprised if it ends in a draw. Milan could be top of the table right now, but they fluffed their chances last weekend losing at home. So it's hard to predict the game between these two sides. Juventus, yes, the Dybala back. They've tried almost every possible formation, but it feels like it's just not working for the old leader. For the Rossoneri, they want to bounce back, hit the ground running, close the gap on Inter Milan, and possibly go top of the table. I think this game could end in a narrow win for Milan. But remember, the first game ended in a draw. I won't be surprised if this also ends in a draw. Moving to England, what the big game is, well, we have a few fixtures, Juventus, Man United, Man City and all. But the big game is the London derby between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. Ordinarily, based on form, Chelsea are bad and this. But in derby matches, form is thrown out the window. But in 59 matches between these two guys, Spurs have won just 7. Chelsea winning 32, with the other 20 ending in a draw. But Chelsea in their last 8 games have won just 1 match. But on the flip side, in the 8 games, they've lost just once. That was last weekend against leaders Man City. So that's why sometimes when you flip this thing, it depends on the agenda you want to push. But it is worrying for Chelsea. 6 draws in 8 games. That is the form of a relegation team. Likely step by step, they move from the top of the table to second. Now they are third. Spurs are 8 points behind them with 4 games in hand. If Spurs, for whatever reason, win those games, they are going above Chelsea. So it is worrying for Thomas Tuchel's game men. He needs answers, he needs them very fast. Yes, in the last 6 games, they've won 5 against Spurs. I think they've kept clean sheets in about 4 or 5 of those games. But sometimes those things doesn't matter. A few weeks ago in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, when they met, Chelsea won the game. That could go on for them. But Conte have not lost with Spurs in the Premier League. He's going to his former home turf at the Stamford Bridge. So it's hard to call. This game may just end in a draw. But if you are seeing a draw, it's definitely going to be a score draw. I think both teams will get to score in this game. Harry Kane looks to be getting back his form. He looks to be rejuvenated. But against Chelsea, it's a different challenge from what they had against Leicester. Midway in 95th minute, they were a goal down, but they ended up winning that game. Chelsea had a better defensive side, a different kettle of fish than what they had against the Foxes. But I think this game could end in a draft tonight. So Atletico should do enough to edge Los Che Valencia. For AC Milan, it could end in a draw. And for Chelsea Spurs, maybe a narrow win for the Blues, or maybe a score draft tonight. That's our show for today. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. Till we come another time, have a beautiful weekend. Goodbye.